What if the reason your life has not changed is not because you lack talent, opportunity, or strength, but because you keep ending every day the same way? Your morning matters, but your night may be deciding your future. Before you close your eyes tonight, understand this: the final hour of your day is not empty time. It is preparation time. It is the moment when you can either carry the stress of today into tomorrow or intentionally prepare yourself to become stronger, wiser, calmer, and more focused. Most people end their day by scrolling endlessly, comparing their lives with strangers, replaying arguments, worrying about money, or watching one more video until their mind becomes exhausted. Then they wake up wondering why they feel mentally drained before the day even begins. But imagine ending your nights differently. Imagine going to bed with a clear mind, a grateful heart, a written plan, and a stronger sense of purpose. Imagine waking up without the confusion that usually follows an unprepared mind. Your life begins to change when your daily patterns begin to change. The first powerful night habit is simple: review your day. Before you sleep, ask yourself 3 questions. What did I do well today? What did I do wrong? And what can I do better tomorrow? Do not use these questions to attack yourself. Use them to educate yourself. A wise person does not waste mistakes. A mistake becomes valuable when you learn from it. Maybe you wasted time today. Maybe you reacted emotionally. Maybe you avoided something important. Maybe you made progress you almost forgot to appreciate. Look at the day honestly. You are not reviewing your life to feel guilty. You are reviewing it to become conscious. Think about an athlete after a competition. The athlete does not simply walk away and forget everything. They study what worked, what failed, and what must improve. Your life deserves the same attention. Tonight, before you sleep, give yourself 10 quiet minutes. Put your phone away. Sit somewhere peaceful. Look back at your day without excuses and without shame. Then tell yourself, tomorrow does not have to repeat today. That sentence can become a turning point. Because transformation does not usually happen through one giant decision. It happens through small decisions repeated when nobody is watching. And tonight, you have a choice. You can simply end another day, or you can use tonight to build the person who will live tomorrow differently. The next habit will take your nightly transformation even deeper. What if the habit you practice in the final minutes of your day is quietly programming the person you become tomorrow? Here is the truth: your mind does not simply switch off when you close your eyes. What you repeatedly think about, watch, remember, and speak before sleep can influence the emotional direction you carry into tomorrow. That is why the second powerful night habit is to protect your mind before you sleep. You cannot feed your mind chaos all night and expect to wake up with peace in the morning. Look at what happens when someone spends an hour before bed watching arguments, disturbing news, negative comments, endless social media, and other people's perfect-looking lives. Their body may be tired, but their mind is still fighting battles. They close their eyes, yet their thoughts continue racing. Then morning comes, and they wonder why they feel anxious, distracted, or unmotivated. You must learn to create a mental boundary. There should be a moment every night when you tell the world, you no longer have access to my attention. Put the phone down. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Stop consuming information that does not help your purpose. Give your mind permission to become quiet. This does not mean you should ignore reality. It means you should stop allowing everything to enter your mind without permission. Think about your mind like a house. If you leave every door open, anyone can walk inside. But when you understand your value, you become selective about what you allow to enter. One night, a young man complained that he could never concentrate. He blamed his job, his circumstances, and his lack of motivation. But when he examined his routine, he discovered something simple. Every night he stayed awake for hours consuming random content. His mind never received a chance to settle. He made one decision. For 30 minutes before sleep, he stopped consuming and started reflecting. At first, it felt uncomfortable. Silence can feel strange when you are used to constant noise, but slowly, something changed. His thoughts became clearer, his mornings became calmer, his ability to focus improved. That is what protecting your mind can do. Tonight, create a peaceful final 30 minutes. Read something meaningful. Pray or reflect if that is part of your life. Write down your thoughts. Sit quietly. Breathe slowly. Let the noise of the day settle. You do not need another hour of stimulation. You need space to hear yourself again. Remember this: what enters your mind repeatedly eventually influences what comes out of your life. So protect your final thoughts, because tomorrow's mindset may be shaped by what you allow yourself to think about tonight. And once your mind becomes quiet, you are ready for the next habit: gratitude. What if you could change the emotional direction of your life simply by changing what you focus on before you sleep? The third night habit is practicing gratitude. Not fake gratitude, not pretending everything is perfect. Real gratitude means training yourself to recognize what is still good, even when something is difficult. Every day gives you reasons to complain. Bills may be waiting, people may disappoint you, plans may fail. Your progress may feel slower than expected. If you allow your mind to focus only on what is missing, you can have many blessings around you and still feel poor inside. That is why gratitude is powerful. Before you sleep, take a few minutes and identify 3 things you are thankful for. Write them down. Why? Because what you repeatedly notice becomes what your mind learns to search for. A person who trains their mind to recognize blessings begins to see possibilities that were always there. Think about 2 people experiencing the same difficult season. One goes to bed saying, "Nothing ever works for me. My life is falling apart. I have nothing." The other says, "This season is hard, but I am still here. I still have a day. I can still learn. I can still grow. I can still try again." The circumstances may be similar, but their inner worlds are completely different. Gratitude does not deny your pain. It prevents your pain from becoming your identity. And there is another level. Do not only be grateful for what you have, be grateful for what you are becoming. If you are learning discipline, becoming wiser, more patient, and more courageous, growth is happening. Tonight, before you close your eyes, say 3 things you are thankful for, and 1 thing you are proud of yourself for doing. Then say, "I may not have everything I want, but I will not overlook everything I have." Let that sentence settle into your heart. When you practice gratitude, your nights become peaceful, your perspective becomes stronger, and your mornings begin with possibility instead of complaint. Never underestimate the power of the thankful mind, because when you learn to appreciate today, you stop wasting your life waiting for tomorrow to make you happy. And now, prepare yourself for the 4th habit, because gratitude changes your perspective, but your next habit will change your direction. Do it tonight. What if the most important decision you make tomorrow is already waiting for you tonight? Your future becomes clearer when your priorities become clearer. The 4th powerful night habit is to plan tomorrow before you sleep. Most people wake up and immediately ask, "What do I need to do?" You begin the morning reacting to messages, notifications, requests, and problems before you ever decide what matters. Do not let the world choose your priorities for you. Take 10 minutes tonight and decide what deserves your attention tomorrow. Write down the 3 important things you must accomplish, 3 meaningful priorities. Write it down. When you know what matters before you wake up, you reduce the mental struggle of deciding where to begin. Imagine 2 people waking up at the same time. The first person reaches for the phone. They check messages, scroll through social media, watch random videos, and respond to everyone else's priorities. The second person wakes up knowing exactly what matters. They begin with intention. Which person is more likely to make progress? The answer is obvious. Planning your night does not guarantee that tomorrow will be perfect. Life will still surprise you. Problems will still appear. But preparation gives you direction when interruptions come. You are saying, "My goals deserve my attention." Do not make tomorrow responsible for fixing today's lack of preparation. Prepare tonight. Before you sleep, write down 3 priorities, 1 thing you will avoid, and 1 action that moves you closer to your biggest goal. Then visualize yourself completing them. See yourself getting up. See yourself getting. See yourself staying focused when distractions appear. See yourself finishing what you promised. Your mind needs direction before your body begins the journey. Tonight, choose what matters. Tomorrow, execute it. That simple practice can turn scattered days into purposeful days, and purposeful days eventually become a purposeful life. But there is another habit you need before sleep, because planning your future means little if you carry yesterday's emotional weight into tomorrow. You are not trying to control every minute of tomorrow. You are creating a compass. A compass does not remove storms, but it helps you remember which direction you are traveling. Your priorities can do the same for your life. When distractions appear, return to the list. When motivation disappears, return. When someone else tries to pull you into something unnecessary, remember what you decided matters. This is how discipline begins. You make the decision once, then stop renegotiating it each morning. Your future deserves that commitment. The fifth habit will teach you how to release it. What if the thing keeping you awake tonight is not your unfinished work, but the emotional weight you refuse to release? You cannot build a peaceful tomorrow while constantly carrying yesterday into bed. The fifth powerful night habit is to forgive, release, and let go. Every day, people hurt you. Someone may disrespect you. Someone may disrespect you. Someone may disappoint you. A friend may betray your trust. A family member may say something painful. Maybe you made a mistake yourself, and you had been replaying it in your mind for hours. But listen carefully. Carrying anger into every night does not punish the person who hurt you. It keeps you connected to the pain. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was acceptable. It means you refuse to allow what happened to control your future. Before you sleep, ask yourself, what am I carrying that I no longer need to carry? Maybe it is anger. Maybe it is regret. Maybe it is regret. Maybe it is fear. Maybe it is an old conversation that ended months ago, but still lives inside your thoughts. You have to learn how to close emotional doors. Imagine a person going to bed every night holding a heavy backpack filled with yesterday's arguments, disappointments, failures, and fears. Every morning, they pick up the same backpack and continue walking. Eventually, they wonder why life feels so exhausting. The problem is not always the road. Sometimes the problem is what you refuse to put down. Tonight, practice releasing it. Tell yourself, I cannot change what happened, but I can choose what happens next. If you hurt someone, take responsibility. If you need to apologize, make a plan to do it. If someone hurt you, decide that their actions will not determine the person you become. Then breathe deeply and release the day. You do not need to solve every emotional problem before sleeping. Some things require time. Some wounds require conversations. Some situations may need boundaries, but you can still choose not to spend the entire night fighting battles that are no longer happening. Your bedroom should become a place of restoration, not a courtroom where you repeatedly put yourself and others on trial. Let tonight be different. Forgive yourself for not knowing what you know now. Forgive yourself for mistakes you are actively learning from. Release people you cannot control. Release conversations you cannot rewrite. Release tomorrow's problems until tomorrow arrives. Peace is not weakness. Peace is strength under control. And when you stop carrying unnecessary emotional weight, you create room for clarity, courage, and purpose. Tonight, close your eyes knowing this. You survived today. You learned something. You grew somehow. And tomorrow gives you another opportunity to begin again. But there is one more thing you must do before your head touches the pillow. The sixth habit will help you turn your dreams into deliberate action. What if your biggest dreams are not failing because you lack ability, but because you keep dreaming without turning those dreams into decisions? The sixth powerful night habit is to visualize your future and reconnect with your purpose. Before you sleep, stop thinking only about what went wrong today. Spend a few minutes thinking about where you are going. Your mind needs a destination. If you never give your mind a clear picture of the person you want to become, distractions will create a picture for you. Close your eyes tonight and imagine yourself 1 year from now. What does your life look like? How do you speak? How do you work? How do you treat people? What habits have you developed? What problems have you learned to handle? What kind of person have you become? Do not only imagine possessions. Imagine character. Imagine discipline. Imagine peace. Imagine confidence. Imagine waking up early because your purpose matters more than your comfort. Imagine finishing what you start. Imagine having the courage to walk away from distractions. Imagine becoming someone you can respect. A young woman once felt trapped because her current circumstances looked nothing like her dreams. She had failed before. She had lost opportunities. She doubted herself. But every night, she began spending 5 minutes imagining the person she wanted to become. Then she did something. She connected the vision to one action. If she imagined becoming healthier, she prepared for tomorrow's workout. If she imagined becoming financially responsible, she reviewed her spending. If she imagined becoming more educated, she prepared something to study. Her vision stopped being fantasy and became instruction. That is the difference. Visualization without action is only imagination, but visualization followed by disciplined action becomes direction. Tonight, ask yourself, what kind of person am I becoming? Then ask, what is one action tomorrow that proves it? Write that action down. Your future is not built in one moment. It is built through nights when you decide who you will be and mornings when you prove it. Do not wait until you feel motivated. Decide first. Your feelings may change, but your decision can remain. And remember, your dream is not asking you to become perfect overnight. It is asking you to become consistent. One better choice, one habit, one courageous action, one focused day. Repeat it again and again. Tonight, see the future, but do not stop there. Commit to becoming the person capable of living that future, because the seventh habit will help you protect the foundation underneath your dream, your body, your energy, and your sleep. What if the quality of your sleep is quietly determining the quality of your tomorrow? The seventh night habit is to prepare your body for rest. You cannot expect your mind to perform at its highest level when you constantly treat sleep like wasted time. Sleep is not weakness. Sleep is not laziness. Sleep is part of preparation. Many people spend their entire day demanding more from themselves, then spend their night giving their bodies less than they need. They stay online late, keep working, drink stimulating drinks too close to bedtime, or carry their phones into bed and wonder why they wake up exhausted. Your body is not a machine without limits. Think about an athlete. An athlete does not train every minute of every day. Recovery is part of training because muscles need time to repair and strength needs time to rebuild. Your body and mind need the same principle. Create a consistent bedtime whenever possible. Give yourself enough time to rest. Dim the lights. Put away unnecessary screens. Make your room comfortable and quiet. Let your body recognize that the day is ending. You are teaching yourself a powerful message. Now it is time to recover. One businessman discovered this after years of believing that sleeping less proved he was more committed. He stopped sacrificing rest for distractions. He created a consistent nighttime routine and protected his final hour. Slowly, his mornings changed. He became sharper. His mood improved. His work became more focused. The lesson was simple. Being awake longer does not automatically mean accomplishing more. Sometimes you become more productive by recovering properly. Tonight, prepare your body for rest. Finish unnecessary tasks earlier. Step away from your screens. Relax your mind. Keep your bedroom peaceful. If worries appear, write them down and remind yourself, I will deal with this when tomorrow comes. Then allow yourself to rest without guilt. Your body has carried you through today's battles. Give it permission to recover. And remember, these 7 night habits are not about creating a perfect routine overnight. They are about creating a better pattern. Review your day. Protect your mind. Practice gratitude. Plan tomorrow. Release emotional weight. Visualize your future. Prepare your body for rest. Do these consistently, and your nights will stop being the place where your day simply ends. They will become the place where your next level begins. Tonight, choose one habit. Tomorrow, choose another. Because the life you want is not created only when people are watching. It is created in quiet moments, especially at night, when you decide that tomorrow deserves a better version of you. Start tonight now. What is the difference between the life you have and the life you want? is hidden inside the promises you make to yourself when nobody is watching. You have already learned 7 powerful habits, but knowing them is not enough. The 8th step is to build a nightly commitment that turns knowledge into character. Every night, make one small promise to yourself for tomorrow. Not 10 promises, not 20. 1. Maybe you promise to wake up when the alarm rings. Maybe you promise to spend 30 minutes learning. Maybe you promise to exercise. Maybe you promise to stop checking your phone first thing in the morning. Maybe you promise to finish the task you have been avoiding. Then keep that promise. Why is this so powerful? Because every time you keep a promise to yourself, you build self-trust. And every time you repeatedly break promises to yourself, you teach your mind that your own words cannot be trusted. Think about someone who constantly says, "Tomorrow I will change." Tomorrow comes, nothing changes. Then another tomorrow comes, still nothing. Eventually they stop believing themselves. But imagine reversing that pattern. Tonight, choose one small promise. Tomorrow, keep it. The next night, choose another. Keep it again. Slowly, your identity begins to change. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is always trying. You begin seeing yourself as someone who follows through. That is powerful. Your confidence does not only come from compliments. Real confidence often grows from evidence. You need evidence that you can trust yourself. A person who once struggled with discipline decided to make one commitment every night. He stopped creating impossible plans. Instead, he chose one action that was small enough to complete, but meaningful enough to matter. After several weeks, something changed. His life was not suddenly perfect, but his identity was different. He had proof that he could make a decision and honor it. That proof became confidence. Tonight, before sleeping, ask yourself, what is one promise I can make tomorrow that will make me stronger? Write it down. Make it specific. Then keep it. Do not underestimate small victories. A strong life is often built from ordinary promises kept consistently. And when you fail, do not quit. Review what happened, adjust your approach, and begin again. Your goal is not perfection. Your goal is becoming dependable to yourself. Remember, nobody may applaud you for waking up early, choosing discipline, reading instead of scrolling, or completing something difficult. Do it anyway. The person you are becoming is watching. And tomorrow night, when you return to this quiet moment, you want to be able to say, "I kept my word." That sentence is worth more than temporary motivation. Because when you trust yourself, you stop waiting for someone else to push you. You become your own proof that transformation is possible. What if the person you become tomorrow is determined by the questions you ask yourself tonight? The 9th habit is to have a private conversation with yourself. Before you sleep, stop running from your thoughts. Sit quietly and ask questions most people avoid. Am I becoming the person I said I wanted to become? What is distracting me? What am I tolerating that keeps me small? What decision am I avoiding? These questions may feel uncomfortable, but discomfort reveals truth. Many people spend years blaming circumstances without examining their choices. They blame their job, family, past, lack of opportunities, or other people. Sometimes circumstances can be difficult. But even when you cannot control what happened to you, you can examine how you respond. That is where personal responsibility begins. Imagine a man who kept saying he wanted a better life. Every night he talked about his dreams. But when he honestly reviewed his choices, he discovered that he spent hours on distractions and only minutes working toward his goals. The problem was not that he had no time. The problem was that his priorities were exposed by how he spent his time. That realization changed everything. He stopped asking, "Why is my life not changing?" He started asking, "What am I doing that keeps my life the same?" That question gave him power. Tonight, ask yourself the same thing. Do not judge yourself. Be honest. Maybe you need better boundaries, more discipline, or courage to begin before conditions are perfect. Write one truth down. Then write one action that responds to that truth. This is how awareness becomes transformation. You do not need to fix everything tonight. Identify what must change next. And here is something important. Never confuse reflection with overthinking. Reflection leads to clarity and action. Overthinking leads to fear and paralysis. Give yourself a time limit. Ask, write, choose the lesson, choose the action, then let the day end. Your mind deserves closure. When you practice this every night, you become harder to deceive, especially by yourself. You begin noticing patterns before they become problems. You recognize excuses faster. You understand your strengths and weaknesses. Slowly, you stop living accidentally. You begin living intentionally. Tonight, ask yourself one final question. If I continue living exactly as I am, where will these habits take me? Then ask the more powerful question. What must I change tonight so tomorrow can become different? Your answer may be the beginning of your next chapter. The truth you face tonight can free your future tomorrow. Tomorrow, one final habit will bring everything together. What if tonight is the night you finally stop asking when your life will change and start deciding that it must change? You have reached the final habit, but this is not the end of the journey. This is where everything comes together. The seventh powerful night habit is to create a closing ritual that reminds you who you are, what you value, and where you are going. Every night, before you sleep, take a few quiet minutes and bring your entire day into perspective. Review what you learned. Protect your mind. Give thanks. Plan tomorrow. Release what you cannot control. See your future. Prepare your body. Then make one commitment to yourself. This simple ritual turns an ordinary night into a moment of transformation. Imagine a person who has spent years waking up frustrated, rushing through mornings, reacting to problems, and ending nights exhausted. One evening, that person decides to stop living accidentally. They create a simple routine. They turn off the noise. They review their day. They write 3 things they appreciate. They choose tomorrow's priorities. They release resentment. They visualize their goals. They prepare for rest. Then they say, tomorrow, I will become better than I was today. The first night changes nothing. The second night changes little. But weeks pass, then months. Suddenly the person notices something powerful. They are calmer. They are more focused. They waste less time. They keep more promises. They wake with direction. They respond instead of reacting. Their circumstances may not have transformed overnight, but they have transformed internally. And when the person changes consistently, their decisions change. Their decisions change their actions. Their actions change their habits. Their habits eventually change their life. That is the real power of your nights. You do not need a perfect life to begin. You need a better ending to today. Tonight, do not promise yourself that you will change everything tomorrow. Promise yourself that you will change one thing, then repeat it. Let your nights become sacred preparation for the future you desire. When everyone else is distracted, build. When everyone else is complaining, reflect. When everyone else is consuming, create. When everyone else is sleeping without direction, prepare your mind for tomorrow. Your future is being built in moments nobody sees. So tonight, put the phone away. Sit in silence. Look at your life honestly. Thank God for what you have. Learn from what happened. Release what must be released. And decide what happens next. You are not waiting for your future anymore. You are preparing for it with every decision you make tonight.